What is up, everybody? Welcome once again to my YouTube channel, and today let's go for another round of the Chicane Online League Championship. And today we are at Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. So I'm just going to show you two clips in a second. As you can see from the minimap, we have a clear road in front of us as we were going to post our flying lap. So we were preparing, we just started our flying lap, and it was a very quick flying lap up to this point, up to this next clip. As you can see, out of nowhere we have Dugolshin. I had a clear road, but out of nowhere Jamie, I guess he finished his lap and is over with it, but Dugolshin is coming out of nowhere and is quite slow. He has already damaged my lap in at least 4/10, and then it gives me no space as I have to go between him and Jamie, and I broke my front wing piece, so I have no time to come back onto the pits and come back out and do a flying lap. So I have to do this flying lap with a damaged front wing. So here we go, just approaching the first corner, trail brake as hard as you can, as well as you can, as you are now putting the throttle, nearly losing the back end, some counter steering there, and now we begin climbing through the S's. Very technical sections. I do it in 4th and 5th gear, some guys do it in 4th and 3rd, but very tricky to balance the car as we are now trying to go on the power up to this corner. I touched the curb on the inside, which is not advisable, but nevertheless we got away safely. Now through the diagonal corners, turning early on this one, and we already posted a purple first sector. We are now climbing uphill up to the hairpin. First gear, clipping the apex, short shifting onto 4th, nearly losing the back end, but nevertheless getting away very cleanly. As you can see from our last clip, we are around 5/10 slower than our previous, what was going to be our previous fastest lap. And we are now approaching the spoon corner. Very tricky place to get the apex right and to get the exit right, as you try to get on the power as long as possible, as it is crucial for a good run along this straight, which leads onto one of the most exciting corners in the racetrack. 130R, you go full throttle at 8th gear, and now we are preparing for the brake braking zone of the chicane. We are going through the right and the left-hander, a very tricky place to put the traction down, as we now open the DRS and cross over the line to post a 134.6, which got us second provisorily, but once we go onto the results, we got third behind Calipos, who overtook us in the last stages of the qualifying session. So P3 for us, with Jamie first, Calipos second, Shizel in 4th, Juno, then Omer 6th, Fernando 7th, Alex 8th, Bandicoot 9th, and El Nabo 10th, starting on the medium compound tires. Then we have Universal Speed Killer, Joe, Shady, Rogue, Binding, Maple, Dugolshin, and Frozen Luffy opting to not do the qualifying run. So let's move on onto the race. Welcome along then to the final moments of peace before a grid full of the world's fastest cars fire into life and charge down towards the scuffle of turn 1 as the fight for the championship enters its final stages. Suzuka then, the only figure of 8 circuit of the Formula 1 calendar, covers 5.8 kilometers, which offered the drivers some intense G-forces through the 18 corners of the layout as they experienced some of the highest average speeds of the season, especially through 130R, which might set up some overtaking into the final chicane. As you can see, the skies are pretty dark, but I guess we will find out over the course of the afternoon if the weather will play a role onto this race or not. As we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go for the Japanese Grand Prix, as Calipos gets a very good start and is already alongside Jamie as we approach turn 1. Jamie got the better on the runaway, but Calipos has the inside line. They bang wheels. Calipos drops down onto 3rd. I can see Omer behind us battling with the Ferrari of Shizel, as looks like Omer has already jumped onto 4th place on his medium tires, so he's going to have an advantage on top of us. But we are now climbing through the S's. Maybe we can get anything done. We have yellow flags, so I don't know exactly what happened, but now we are preying on Calipos. Looks like he gets a poor exit out of this left-hander. We may get a better one on him. Let's see what we can do, and if we have any space, obviously, but I don't think so yet. Calipos goes very wide. Let's see if we try to get him on the rundown onto the hairpin. Looks like we ran out of space. We do not have a better run, that much better of a run, as we are now have a Force India. I believe it is Alex right behind Homer, so I don't know what happened with Chisel behind us, as we are now looking at Homer's perspective. He qualified 60, got a very good start compared to Juno, as they are already side by side. Homer, even before the approaching first corner, Juno is already up to P4, but then Chisel is our rear end, gets some sliding on his car and gets overtaken by Homer and Alex. I think he's the one who spun out, causing those yellow flags, and I believe some other cars were collected in the incident. One of them was El Nabu even, so it was dead last at this point, I believe. But nevertheless, Calipos gets a very bad exit out of the spoon curve, and we get a move past him, so we are managing our tires. We were not looking to get many battles, because as you can see we are underfueled on our car. That allows us to have a lighter car and therefore not put as much pressure on the tires, and therefore we can get longer stints on those initial set of tires, because we were looking for a one soft from the softs to the hards, as we get a virtual safety car on the race for some reason, and so we are going to rest a little bit, take our breath back as we prepare to go back on green flag racing. So at this pace I don't think anyone is coming onto the pits, but yeah, we are now moving into the lap 3. As you can see, we are following Homer, and we are chasing Calipos. Calipos got a worse exit, as those soft tires might be starting to fall off in terms of their grip levels, at least compared to the mediums, even though the softs might be quite decent at the moment. But Calipos goes wide at the first corner, is not really having the best of starts to this Grand Prix. It was first momentarily, but is now not finding his rhythm, and he finds himself being very pressurized by Homer. Fortunately for him, Homer did not have the space to pull off any sort of maneuver, and then later on the race he actually goes very deep once again, but this time on the hairpin, and he falls back all the way to 5th, maybe even 6th, or maybe even lower. But Homer gets up to P3 on his medium tires, so he's set for a very good race from him. As we are now on lap 7, we are still trying to keep up with Jamie on our standard fuel mix. As we now make a mistake, we were trying to maybe work something around Jamie on the outside, but that was ultimately just a dumb maneuver to try. Even though it didn't cost us too much, we are going to get slipstream off of Jamie, but Homer approached us quite a bit and is going to be able to stick to us using the DRS and some other stuff, even though we have better grip, so we can get some spacing off of him out of the corners. So Jamie at lap 7 comes into the pits. Homer, as you can see, very close to us, around 5/10. Then in lap 8 it's our turn to come into the pits, so we are going to change onto a set of the hard compound tires. So we are going to try to make, I believe it is 28 laps. I believe if my maths are correct, we are going to try to do 28 laps on this set of hard tires until the end. So let's see what we can do with this. As you can see, Jamie opted to go on the medium compound tires, so his undercuts worked quite well, because he is even going on a faster tire than what I changed into. We are now at the end of lap 10. We are quite stuck behind Rogue, we were much faster than him. Now we get better traction out of the corner. We are going to get a slipstream DRS. We are still underfueled, but we get back on the rich mix, and we are going to make a move done. Very easy maneuver even before the first corner is approached, and we are through, as we are now coming up to binding. So he is now in 14th. He had a very good start to this race last time out, but unfortunately he is dropping back through the field in this one. As we are now following Homer in lap 11, and is being approached by Jamie. Jamie is going to be much faster than him. I don't know what the gap is, but he's going to recover some seconds due to Omer has not stopped yet, and Jamie has much faster medium tires. As now we have the As driver, I didn't catch his name, pulling off onto the side of the road, so I don't know what happened with him, maybe some like incident or something, but he's at the end of lap 12 going to nearly get I don't know, I really don't know how we managed to avoid the penalty there, but yeah, he comes into the pits for a change of tires into the hard compound, and he's going to rejoin the pits. Jamie has already gone past him. Let's see about Ruben, and we are through as well. So Omer has got a few seconds behind us, but he's going to have much fresher hard tires. So let's see what happens as we are now at the end of lap 14. We are trying to catch up to Jamie, but Jamie has another stop to make. So let's see how it goes. As I believe he's entered the pits just now. I can see someone in the pits on the minimap. Yes, he has just entered the pits, and he's going to come out at least something like 5th, it looks like. But Omer, as you can see with his fresher tires, has approached me, he has bridged the gap, and I'm not sure if he's already in DRS range, but he probably is at the moment. As we can see lots of people leaving the session and getting disconnections, so a very unstable in terms of connection, a very unstable race for us today. But Omer now at the beginning of lap 16 with DRS and the slipstream, he comes alongside me, goes on the inside, overshoots the corner, and we get back onto the leadership of this race. So both manners are having a squabble for the race. I don't think we have seen that ever in this championship, but finally two of the top 3 drivers in this race, in this championship, are now going at it, as we have now Omer trying once again, going side by side with Ruben, as he has DRS. Let's see what Ruben does. He might try the same maneuver, try to force Omer onto a mistake, but Omer now nails his braking zone and actually got the move done using his superior traction and fresher tires. So let's see how it goes. Let's see if we can respond in any way, even though we had to save fuel and save tires as well. So let's see how the tire wear is going to come, if it's going to come into our favor, so we might have still some space to do a maneuver, or if we have to go onto absolute conservative mode, because it's quite a stretch of laps we have to do on these sets of tires. As you can see, Omer is pulling away quite a bit. He gained quite a few tenths in the last sector. So let's see, we just want to stay within the slipstream and the DRS range at this point, but he just pulls away after the hairpin as we are approaching now Spoon Curve, and we have 7 laps to go, and we have reached half of our life on our tires in around 11 laps, I believe. I believe this is 11 laps done on these tires, because we pitted at the end of lap 8, so 9 through 20 is that. So, but we couldn't, as you can see, Omer is very heavily worn tires. We couldn't manage to get a battle going with him. Our tires were even worse than him. We were lucky we didn't get a puncture. And so Omer is going to cross over the line to win the Japanese Grand Prix. A great battle from him, a great result from him. After starting 6th, he managed to go his way up the grid with a good start and some misfortunes of other drivers, and he actually has won the Japanese Grand Prix. So great stuff from the Turkish driver, and he's going to be followed by us. So we are going to complete a 1-2 for the manor, which we haven't seen in quite a while. So coming onto the results table, we have Omer first, Ruben second, Calipos third, El Nabo fourth. He was last at 1 point, so great race from him. Then 5th Universal, Rogue 6th, Bandicoot 7th, Speedkiller 8th, Alex 9th, Jamie 10th. And now we have Cuckoo finishing 11th, and all others have disconnected or crashed out or had some sort of incident that caused them to not finish the race. as we are now moving on to the driver standings, and we have Omar with 53 points ahead of Ruben. Then we have Juno in third, and then El Nabo climbing up to fourth with Jamie in fifth with 135 points. Then we have Bandicoot in the Red Bull in sixth with 123. Then Shizel, then Alex and Speedkiller and Frozen Luffy completing the top 10 of the driver standings. As we are now moving on to the Constructors' Championship, we have Manor in first, with Force India second, over 100 points behind, then Ferrari in third, Red Bull fourth, and Mercedes fifth, then Toro Rosso, Haas, Renault has come quite close to Haas, then we have Williams, McLaren very close to him, and then we have the Sauber team sitting dead last with, I believe, 3 points. So this was it, guys, for the race report of the Japanese Grand Prix. If you liked the video, leave a like in the video. If you did not like, the dislike button is right besides the like button, so click it if you dislike the video. Subscribe if you want to see more of these videos, if you want to see some live streams of the current season of Chicane Online Racing, and if you want to see some career mode, as I am pushing to get all of my episodes out before the release of F1 2017, so that's going to be a huge thing for me, as I'm trying to pump out as many videos as I can throughout the end of the life cycle of this game and the beginning of the next game. So next up we are going to have Mexico, I believe, or United States. I believe it is the States even first or before Mexico. So I hope to see you guys in Austin, and have a wonderful day.